Hey everyone, Teresa with Hick-A-Billy LLC. I know I haven't been on for a long time and I haven't done any updated videos and so forth, but I really wanted to share this thing that just happened to me. I have been hunting this hunting season practically every day, and because of my new diet, I'm not eating commercial foods. So we're going to a neighbor's house who has commercial foods that she's serving. So I was looking for a duck or a goose that I can hunt, and my hunting partner had taken me out, and today it is Wednesday, the day before Thanksgiving, and I did one of the most stupid things ever in my entire life. And I thought I'd share it with the world. I wish I had video, but it ain't happening because I was so dang scared. We were following the ducks on the reservoir and geese, and I was set up at one spot and my partner was set up on another, and I didn't have any opportunities to shoot, but apparently he did, and he got a duck, but it fell in the water. So it's a windy day, storm's coming in, and tonight especially we're supposed to get snow and lots of wind. So we've got like 30 some mile per hour wind gusts, so the waters are pretty choppy. Where we were on the lake, close to shore, it wasn't so bad. So what I did was I grabbed out my kayak, sit on top kayak, and I was like, there it is, we kind of saw it. So I grabbed the truck, got close to shore, loaded it up, or tried to get in there, and that was, I will tell you, the most stupid thing you could ever do. So it wasn't very far, and when we got to the spot to unload the boat, we were like, where is it, and then we kind of spotted it, so I was like, okay, let's go out. So I got out there, and the wind picked up, and I went past the bird, and I saw another bird, and I thought it was it, and I kind of went too far out, and so the wind caught me and pushed me like way out, and I didn't realize how far I was out. My partner was on shore, and thank God I did not have the keys to my truck on me. It was in the truck, and so he was able to at least meet me, and at least I wasn't in the ocean, because at least knowing that I was not able to get back to shore, because that's what happened. So the wind took me out too far, and I was trying to paddle into the wind to get back to where we went off to, and I couldn't do it. I was not strong enough to fight against the wind, especially 30 mile per hour gusts, and it was sustained about probably in the 20s. So the waters were rough. The further out I got, the rougher it got, and the more scared I got. But I was like, okay, I'm not going to make it back. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to let the wind push me to the other side of the lake. And so I was like, I just got to stay on top of this dang thing until I hit shore, because that's just how it works. If I wasn't on the boat and it was floating across by itself, the wind would just push that sucker all the way across the other side. So I'm still kind of reeling about it because I just got back home from it, and I wanted to get this recording in. So once I realized that I was not going to make it back, I kind of started to get a little afraid, because I'm not the best swimmer. I'm not an experienced kayaker. I mean, I've kayaked on and off throughout the years here and there, but not under extreme conditions. So I didn't have a life jacket on. Number one mistake. I did not have a life jacket on at all. I just jumped. We were in our hunting gear, and we unloaded it, and I jumped in and said, I'm gonna go get that dang bird, and we'll come right back. Stupid wind picked up and took me out. So as soon as I realized that I was not going to be able to turn around, because I was trying to turn the boat around, and as the wind had picked up, it was going to flop me. And I said, I can't even turn around. I said, well, I started paddling backwards, but I'm not strong enough to paddle against the wind backwards. So I was like, okay, only thing I can do is just let the wind push me and hope to God it gets me to shore somewhere halfway in between. But if not, it's just going to hit. I'm going to just go to the other side. So I motioned to my hunting partner and I said, I'm going to the other side. Meet me there. And that's when I said, meet me there. I said, oh, shit. I don't have my, do I have the keys to the truck on me, or did I leave the keys back there? And so then I started panicking. I was like, oh shit, he's going to be having to walk across, or he's not going to get to the truck. Or what if I take a dump in the middle of the lake and I can't, I'm drowning or whatever. Anyway, it was very scary. Just so you know, it was very scary. I'm like I was like starting to freak out. And so, but then I was like, no, I can't do this. I gotta keep my head on, and I need to get my stupid butt across this river, and I need to survive. So, I went into survival mode, and I was like, okay, I had my binoculars on me. I got several layers of coats. I had another coat on. I was like, okay, so first of all, if I fall off this boat and I get tipped, I don't want to be heavy. So I took the binoculars off, I took off weight, and I was like, I need to get this coat off. But every time I was trying to do something, a wave would come and try to turn me sideways, and I needed to keep the wind to my back, and I needed to keep perpendicular to the wave so that it could push me rather than tilt me. And I'm grateful that the kayak that I have is a heavy kayak. It is that sea kayak that had the hole in it that I had patched with the I think I posted that video. I had patched it with Flex Seal and took it out, and it seemed to work. I don't know if I even got that posted, so maybe not. But anyway, my sea kayak had a hole in it. Used to be that I could be out for an hour with it before I start sinking, and then had to come back. And then I tried it again. It was 20 minutes, and then I Flex Sealed it. And I took it out, and I was out for quite a couple hours, and it was fine, no leaking. So that was another issue I was worried about when I was out there, but that didn't hit me yet. First of all, it was hitting about what happens if I fall over. If I fall over off this boat, the boat's going to stay afloat, but I'm not, because I'm not good at swimming, and I sink like a rock. So the first thing was get the weight off of me. The second thing was tie myself to the boat. Thankfully, I have stuff on the boat that were ropes that it uses to tie it to stuff or tie things to it. So I tied myself to it, but it took me a while to do it because when I was trying to do it, the waves would hit me. They were just hitting me and hitting me, so it was kept trying to turn me. So I had to focus on keeping myself in the right position and keep on going along across the river. I finally got myself tied to the boat in case I got thrown off of it, and I could at least stay afloat. So then the next issue was, oh crap, is this boat leaking? Did my seal take? And so I was like, oh my God. So I was like, I can't think about that right now. That's not something I got to think about. I got to think about reaching the other side, hitting shore somewhere. I don't give a shit where. I need to hit shore, and I need to stay on top of this damn boat. And so as I got closer to the middle of the lake, I was trying to actually go towards the left because that's where shore was. It was to the left. I had where I started was behind me, and then so I was trying to gradually push myself over to the left. The way that lake was shaped and where I was at, the wind was coming through two different directions. So as I started hitting that crossing point, I was hitting into waves, and I had waves hitting me sideways, and it started getting really rough, and I was like, okay, I'm not tempting this fate, and I don't have enough strength to push me through those waves. And so I said, not happening. So I had to turn myself back again away from the shore, and I just had to, I was like, I got to get to shore, but I had to keep telling myself, I'm eventually going to hit shore. It's a circle. It's a round lake. You're eventually going to hit the other side. So you need to not worry about that. You need to just let it flow. Your job is to stay on top of this boat and follow it through, and keep your boat with the wave directly behind you and the wind behind you, and keep this damn thing going until you hit shore. So I was like, had to keep telling myself, because I was wanting to panic. And so I had to calm myself down. I says, you can do this. And it just seemed like it was forever. I mean, I'm thinking, okay, I'm thinking about my hunting partner. Okay, I can picture him. Either he's still sitting there watching me with the binoculars to make sure I make it to the other side, or he's freaking out and he's called already the emergency services people to come out and try and rescue me. And they're going to be all sitting on the shore watching me. I'm thinking, okay, they're going to be sitting here. I'm still on top of the boat. They're going to be sitting there on the shorelines just watching me boat across this rough watered lake and get to the other side, and then I'm going to feel like an even bigger ass, right? So I'm like, okay, I don't want to think about that neither. I just keep, and at the same time, I'm still focusing on staying on top of the boat and keeping the boat in the correct direction. And I'm scared as hell. Get to the middle of the lake, and it gets really, really rough waves. I mean, I think they felt like they were 3 foot, or they looked like they were 3 foot high waves. And I discovered that, and I am not a professional kayaker, and I am not no experience with rough waters at all whatsoever. And I sink like a rock. I'm not a good swimmer. So I'm scared. Trust me, I am scared to death. And I'm like, okay, when the boat goes up, there's a big dip and then another wave. Well, that boat, thank God, is so damn long. I think it's like 13 feet long. Excuse my language, by the way, people. I'm sorry about the bad words. I'm sorry. But it's so long that I was able to, when the one wave was up, and then you had your dip, and then when it was starting to come, the front end was starting to come down, I had to push myself on the top of the wave to get me forward a bit so that the tip would land on the wave ahead, so that I wasn't hitting in between, because that was a bad deal, because it did happen to me a couple times. And so I got up, the tip hit, you're splashing, and then it's wanting to either twist it or something like that. And so I learned real quick that I had to keep this thing up on these waves, and so that helped. But it wasn't like all the way through that I had these high waves. It was just more like when I was in the center area, and it had the biggest current and the most wind or something, I don't know, but it was rough. It was really rough, and that was the roughest I've ever been. I also get seasick, and I get seasick watching a movie, so being on the boat and having these rough waters, it was rough, because when it started getting really rough like that, and I was looking down because I was trying to pay attention to the position of the boat and where the waves are and what's hitting what, I was starting to get a little sick, and I was like, oh, I can't do that either. I gotta live and survive and get to the other side of this other side of this lake. And it's so frustrating, because you can kind of see the shoreline, and you're like, if I could just get over there, just get into that direction, get closer, the waves might be a little less, and it'd be a little bit easier, and I can start getting closer. So it did happen there. I eventually got there, and I was the rough water part, I got past that, But there was a while that it was questionable, and that happened to me about 3 times. It get really rough like that, and then it'd get a little bit calm, and I took advantage of everything I had, every opportunity I had. When I was up high, I was pushing. I let the wind do a lot of my paddling for me, so in my back, so I didn't do a whole lot of work, so I'd saved my energy, so when I really needed it, I had it. And so as I was up high, I'm pushing that boat as far as I can to hit that next wave, top of the next wave. And that got me a bit further, and I was also able to kind of cut over across a little bit. And then when the wind died down a little bit and it was slower, I was able to take advantage of the calmer waves, and I used all my might to push myself closer to shore. So I'm gonna tell you, I will never do that again. I will try to think a little better and be less stupid. But today was an adventurous day. It was a very serious, very scary, life-threatening situation that I was thankful that God got me out of it. But I honestly, I could have easily panicked. I could have flipped myself out of that boat before I got myself tied to it. I could have fallen out and still been tied to it and floating in there, but getting hypothermia and freezing to death. And so there were so many scenarios of things that could have happened. The boat could have took on too much water and it'd start sinking. Well, okay, I'm not a good swimmer and I'm relying on this boat to keep me on top of the water. So, and it's sinking. If it's sinking, then holy crap, I'm going to die. Or I'm swimming to shore, but I still could get hypothermia. And how am I swimming to shore? I'm doing the doggy paddle. Because that's all I know how to do. Doggy paddle, swimming this way. That's how I'm getting to shore. And if that's my extent of skill level, my stupid idiot butt never should have been there. Why was I there, people? Why? Why did I put myself in that situation? Because I'm a moron. A stupid frickin' moron. I've learned my lesson. Sorry. I'm not doing it again. I was scared to death. I could have died. I really, really seriously could have died if I didn't play the game right. And I am so glad to be on the ground and be on the shore. Believe me, I am seriously glad to be there. So lesson for today is learn from my mistakes. Be really careful that when you're wrapped up in the moment, try to keep things on your mind that of being safe. I was wrapped up in the moment. This was the first time that I have gone duck or goose hunting. So I was I was in hunt mode. I was excited, and I just wasn't thinking. And you need to be always thinking safety first. When I'm hunting, I'm constantly thinking about safety with my gun, making sure that I'm not, I'm holding properly. I've got safeties on. I'm not chambered, or if I am chambered, if I'm with someone, my hunting partner knows I'm chambered. I'd be extra careful where I step so I'm not tripping and accidentally, pulling a trigger or tripping and snagging on something. I normally I try when I do things, I try to be as safe as I can. Now, my birthday was on Monday. I'm 52 years old. These are things that should be happening to me when I'm much younger and more inexperienced and more, what do you say, you feel more invincible. But, I'm broken down, I'm wore out, I'm tired, and I can't believe I'm still doing shit like this. I feel like because I'm doing everything so late in life, of experiencing all these things and doing all these new things, I'm I'm going through all those things I should have done back in my 20s. This is something I should have happened to me back when I was in my 20s. Really, is how I feel. Not something that happens to me when I'm 52, more experienced, more knowledgeable, and you make better choices, better decisions. So please try to keep safety in mind. Think before you act, and try to talk yourself into to thinking more about, before you react, consequences to your actions, because these are consequences to my actions. I did this. I totally did this all on my own. It was I worked. I moved quickly. There was no there was no question that, should I be even putting this boat out because it's real windy, and there's whitecaps on the lake. Should I be putting this boat out, or do I even realize that I'm not strong enough to paddle myself back against the wind to the shore? I didn't even bother thinking about that. I thought nothing. All I thought about was, I need to go get that. I want to get that bird, because we're excited. We got a bird, and I'm gonna have something for Thanksgiving dinner that isn't gonna be a commercial turkey, and it's natural, it's wild, and I was really excited about getting this bird, rather than even thinking about all the dangers involved. So I'm posting this video specifically hoping that if anyone watches, that they will learn from my mistakes. Be a bit more mindful of the potential dangers of all our reactions of what we do. Heck, I could have even, I might have even sent my partner out instead of me. It could have been a totally different situation. He might have been strong enough, but I don't think he would have been strong enough either to push himself back in. It's just, he actually cannot swim, so that's a bad, even worse situation. So I was lucky that I had the ability to talk myself down when I'm in times of panic, because I have been. I'm claustrophobic, so like I go into mines, where gold mines and stuff, and you go into these caverns, and they're massive. They have lots of room, but I end up with panic attacks, and I feel like I can't breathe, and then I want to run away or try to get out, so I panic. And I find that I'm able to literally talk myself down and talk myself off that ledge, basically, and go reason and use common sense. But having knowledge is going to help you keep a level head in bad situations, because I literally put myself in a life-threatening situation, and I was able to keep calm, and I was able to rationalize a lot of things because of the knowledge that I had. But if I had completely no knowledge, because the common sense said, well, the wind's going to just blow me across the lake, so why don't I just relax and just, let it do its thing, just go with the flow. And even though I was scared and I started thinking about all these other things that could go wrong, I was, instead of freaking out and think about all the things that could go wrong and trying to distract myself from those bad things, or I was like, okay, well, if that happens, how am I going to react? What am I going to do? So I started working through scenarios in my head as I was still doing what I needed to do to stay alive, and stay afloat. I was trying to already put plans in my head of how I was going to get myself out of that situation. So we need to give ourselves lots of knowledge. We need to run scenarios through your head of different things, of what's going on, what you're going to be doing. Try to run things through your head to give you if you don't know what to do, you can seek out that knowledge. There's so much information out there that's available to us now that we can flood our minds with tons of different kinds of knowledge that will help us get ourselves out of bad situations. So, like when I went out today, I had absolutely no idea that I was going to be taking that boat on that lake today. I had no idea. My intent was we went out to the river and we went hunting, and or we went there was a flock of geese that land there in the mornings, and we went down there, took a shot at them, missed, and they're gone. And that particular hunting spot was your only opportunity in the early morning. So we were basically there to hopefully get something, but if not, we are learning from our experience there. But I never expected that I was going to have to go into any water when we were bird hunting today. We did set up yesterday a makeshift blind, which I do have video of that too, guys. I mean, I will be putting stuff together. But we set up on a part of that lake that we were on today, but it's enclosed. It's sheltered a bit from the wind. It still has hit from the wind, but it's also it's a piece off of it, but it's been drained down. The lake has been drained down, so it's around a smaller portion of the lake. So I did have the boat with the intent that I would be taking that if we shot something over that area. We never planned to go around the entire lake and chase birds this morning. We never expected to do that. It was a spur of the moment because I do things that are spontaneous. So the wind blows, so does my plans, so does my day. It could change in a heartbeat of things, of whatever I'm doing. Mine actually turned into a very bad day that turned out to be a good ending because of my luck, and I had God on my side to help me keep calm and rationalize what was going on so that I can focus on doing what I needed to do to get me out of that situation. So knowledge. How did I know that I needed to stay on top of the start paddling on the high part of the waves? I think I watched a movie one day, and it was I don't even know if this is the right movie, but there was a movie that I was watching where a person was on the river. I think she might have been on a kayak or a canoe and got stuck in the waves. And she panicked and did stupid things. She ended up in the water. And I think from that just watching a movie, I learned of how I was supposed to paddle. Just from watching a movie. So fill yourself up with knowledge. Fill yourself up. If there's things that, like I'm going out kayaking, I should have educated myself before I even took it out on how to kayak, or how you're supposed to steer your boat, how you're supposed to paddle, and so you do need to educate yourself with whatever it is you're doing. Things that you don't even think you might need to know, you need to know. So do lots of research, do readings, read stuff, read books about your subjects that you're doing. I do a lot of research, spur of the moment, we decided to do some bird hunting, like a week ago. And so I started watching YouTube videos on how to duck hunt. So I kind of learned a little bit, but none of that is teaching me not get in the damn boat when the wind is blowing high on a lake. There's no videos out there when you're duck hunting that tells you that stuff. You see people all the time out there on boats, putting blinds on their boats and going out there duck hunting. And so I was just thinking nothing but good stuff. All good stuff. And back to the point of this portion of the video I was just trying to give some advice. Don't be stupid like me. Get some knowledge. Learn everything you think you might possibly ever need. for whatever it is you're doing, so you have an ability to, if you get yourself into a bad situation, you can get yourself out. Um, so that's it. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I just want to tell. I wanted to share everybody with everyone because I am super happy that I survived. But I am kicking myself pretty bad because I did something so stupid that I should have known better. I really should have known better. I know that you don't go out on the lake when you got whitecaps out there, when the wind is blowing. I know that. Why did I do it? Because I was too engulfed in the fact that I wanted to get that bird. And it was more important for me to get that bird than it was to use my common sense and go, I think we're going to have to let that one go because the waters are just too dangerous to even be in. Why did I not do that? Like I said, I know not to go out on the lake when it's whitecaps out there and the wind's blowing. I do that. But I did anyway. So if you have enough knowledge on whatever it is you're doing, like I should skill myself on the boat. I need to skill myself on that. I need to probably skill myself better with swimming. Or now I am for the rest of my life, I will be putting on a life vest before I ever step foot on a boat. I will be putting a life vest on no matter what. Because now that I'm 52, I value my life. I want to be able to live a long, full life. I don't want a short life. And I am experiencing more things than I did when I was younger, that I wasted my time with my life of just doing nothing. I'm actually living now and enjoying my life. I'd like to enjoy it a lot longer by staying safer. And I want you guys also to be safe. Do things smarter. Really be careful, but don't be so careful that you're afraid to do anything, because that's not living. And I'm not going to let this experience stop me from ever going out on the water, or stop me from duck hunting or goose hunting or whatever it is I'm doing. I'm not going to let that stop me. I'm just going to keep going. I'm going to try again. And yeah, today I got knocked down. We were done. I said, I'm not doing it anymore. We're going home. That's it. Day's over. We're done. And so was my partner. My partner was so stressed out. He's like, we're done. I'm going home. And I was perfectly fine with that. Yeah, just, learn from my stupidity. Get knowledge of the ins and outs of whatever it is you're doing in life. Something that you never even think you'd need to have knowledge about, detailed knowledge, not just general knowledge. I mean deep down, detailed knowledge. I think I probably wouldn't have been as scared out there as I was if I had more knowledge, more confident as a swimmer. Or if I even had a life vest on, I would have felt more comfortable. But I was literally scared shitless. And I was thinking there's a very good possibility that I was going to die or go in the water. That's how I felt. And there were times when I was in the middle of that lake, and it was real bad, and I have no rough water experience, I thought I might just not make it. And I was going to be in the water. And thankfully, I wasn't. But so guys, please be safe. Don't let things like this, if they happen to you, don't let them stop you from living. Live, but live safely and be smart about it. Don't be an idiot moron like me. Okay. All right, everybody. Have a great Thanksgiving. I definitely have something to be thankful for this Thanksgiving. Now it's not going to be one of those, Well, I'm thankful that I have family. Thankful, all these the typical things that you're usually thankful for on Thanksgiving. This Thanksgiving, I actually have something very special to be thankful for. And yes, it was my own stupid fault, but yes, I am thankful for the fact that I'm still here. So, everyone, enjoy your families. Have a wonderful Thanksgiving. Be safe and enjoy yourselves and live, people, live. Okay. Love you all. Talk to you later.